Okay, so what I would probably use there is another profiling operation, but I would control the entry and exit a lot better. Let's go over here, 2-axis, profiling. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of that. So for our edges, let's see what I got here. Okay, so I got another curve right there, which just follows that edge around, and I'm going to select that one.
Yeah, I think it's better to use just these open curves and put an entry exit there.
Yep. So I'm just got 3 curves here. Okay. And let's go ahead and take a look at, we're going to use the same tool, and we're going to, for the cut parameters, we'll leave the stock set to 0, do a mixed cut direction, turn that off, cut side determined using 3D model. Okay, for our cut levels is at the bottom.
So let me jump in here for a minute, Don. So one of the things we mentioned at the beginning of the webinar is using the inherent properties of the 3D model. And if you notice, Don has already been doing that. A couple of things he did was select the heights for machining using the 3D model, using that depth control picker, and then also cut side, determining the cut side and profiling, also using the 3D model. So those are some of the things that you obviously will not have if you're just using 2D curves. So this is why we recommend that you always use 3D models, even for 2.5-axis milling. And obviously also you're picking edge curves here in the 3D model that allows them to do, much more control, get much more control in the toolpath. So thanks, Don.
Okay. Okay. So let's look at the entry and exit. So basically what we want to do is we want the tool to just extend out straight and enter straight, okay, on all of these open areas. So what we're going to do, we're going to use lines and arcs on both the entry and the exit, but we're going to control the primary one to look at if you really want to control your entry and exit is this angle right here. Okay, angle here and this angle here, because that'll determine, how that tool approaches that the start point of your cut. So if you set it to 0, it's just going to come straight in. I guess you could say straight on the curve. Where the curve starts, it's going to go straight into it in the direction of the curve. So we're going to go for engagement of linear. We'll set that to 4. Again, our angle is going to be 0. And down here, we're going to go linear for angle 0. Change that to 4. And we're going to do an entry and exit at each cut level. Okay. And let's see what that looks like. Okay. So you'll see that I leverage the fact that we have an open area here that opens up onto a platform that's lower than that. So there's not going to be any trace marks on this surface. So it's just coming straight out in an open area. And it's also coming straight out and in on this open area. Okay. Let's go ahead and put a color to that. Let's simulate that. Okay. That's the best method I would probably use to finish that. So I can have control of the entries and control of the exits. Okay. So what do we got next? Okay, here's another interesting area. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to do these side areas here. There's one on each side. Okay. And we're going to use a profiling operation. Okay. And we're going to select these curves I already have selected here or drawn. Okay. And one thing to notice here is that this curve runs from here around and then it loops up. You're not constrained to selecting your geometry on the XY plane. It doesn't have to be flat. You can pick anywhere on the model that you want the tool to follow, okay? And it'll project, the program will project it down flat for you. So you don't have to worry about drawing any extra curves or anything. So it goes around and it flips up on that end. So let's go ahead and pick a tool. We're going to use our large 19 millimeter flat end mill. And let's go over here. Let's go to the cut parameters. We're going to go ahead and typically, if I did this for production, I would do a roughing and then leave some stock on the roughing, then do the finishing. We're just going to go to the finish, so we make sure we can get all the way through the model. So our stock is going to be 0. We're going to do a mixed cut direction, and well, actually we're going to do conventional. I'm looking at the other model on the other screen. Okay, for the cutting side, we're just going to determine that from the 3D model. And what we're going to do here is, if I just did it a straight profile, I don't like the idea of this block of metal just sort of like loosening itself, and where's it going to go? Where's it going to? Is it going to damage the part or whatnot? So I'm going to use an actual step over. Okay, so I'm going to do step over 12 millimeters. Okay, and I'm going to do a step cut of 6 millimeters. So basically, it's going to work its way in. Okay, to get rid of this material. Okay, so let's go to cut levels. So where's our geometry? I know it loops up here on this little edge here, but we're going to say it's at the bottom. Okay, and for the total cut depth, we're going to pick that from the model. So going to pick 2 points. So we have a depth of 22 millimeters, and we want to use a specific depth. A lot of times when you're cutting metal, you have certain cutters, and that cutter, you have it to cut a certain depth, and you don't want to cut it more. You don't want to cut, obviously, you may want to cut it less, but probably not. So we're going to tell it that we want a depth for cut of 2 millimeters. And I'm going to check this box here to use distance as specified. So that's going to make sure that it uses the 2 millimeters per cut level, and it's not going to vary. Okay, we're going to do a level first for the depth, and for the entry and exit, we're going to be doing some tricky things with our entries and exits to make sure that we get the tool starting in the right direction, ending up in the right direction. So for this one, what we're going to do was going to do lines and arcs, and we're going to have a length of 20 for the approach, and we're going to do a linear engagement, and we're going to set that to 14. And for these, we're just going to do 0. 0 angle means that it's going to just follow the curve and extend out. Okay. And then for the exit, we're going to do linear. Okay, we're going to do a small length of 0.5. And these are all going to be 0 also. So you'll see what I'm getting at in just a second here. Okay, we're going to apply the entry and exit to each cut level. Okay, and let's see how that looks. Okay, so we don't want to extend it out too much on that one. I think what the problem is, I'm doing both of them at the same time. Let's remove that and generate that. Okay. So you see what happened here is I've got it extending out on the side and not on this end, because we're going to be using clamps probably to hold this down. So I don't want the toolpath to go into this area. So that's why I contained it really tight on the one end and then extended it out on the other. Let's go ahead and simulate that real quick. And let's put a color to this. We'll just leave that. Let's go ahead and simulate that. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this. Let's see if we can get that a little bit slower. Okay, so it's working its way in from the outside in, and it's just turning that area into chips. Go to the end. Okay. And let's go ahead, and what we're going to do here, we're just going to clone that. Okay. And we're going to change, select this curve here. Okay. And then we need to change the cut direction. Yeah, I guess on this one we need to change the actual entry to the other end here. Let's go to this one over here. Okay, we're going to go entry and exit. We're going to change that. We're going to make that actually.
You can also change the cut curve direction in Rhino too. You can show that too.
Let's just generate that. I don't normally do the curve direction here. Let me see the best way to do that. We'll just do it this way. Okay, we'll just change these to 20 here and change that to 0.5. And engage departure be 14. Change that to 5. See what that looks like. Okay. So again, I want to constrain it from going too far, in this direction. So let's go ahead and simulate that real quick. Let's speed that up a little bit. Okay. Okay. So we got those two areas machined out.